During my trip to Palestine, I had the great honor of meeting the Bosnian Muslim community of Palestine.
Dobro jutro!
Bosnian Muslims settled in Qisaria, Palestine in the 1880s when the Austro-Hungarian occupation took control of Bosnia. Fearing that they might be scrutinized for their faith, around 50 families, predominantly from Mostar, decided to flee to Palestine to be among fellow Muslims. They all took a common last name, Bushnaq, which literally means Bosnian Muslim in the Bosnian language.
So everybody has a different last name. Do you all know your name?
He's my brother. I have the same. He's my brother.
Okay. And what's yours?
This is migrated.
This is migrated. Okay.
Stolas.
In efforts to preserve their language and their identity, they all decided to collectively move to the ancient coastal town of Qisaria, which is today known as Qisaria in occupied Palestine. It had been uninhabited for centuries. It was a completely desolate town, and the Bushnaqs built it from the ground up. They brought work, life, and order to Qisaria, turning it into a thriving fishing town run largely by Bosnians. What a beautiful place to have a mosque, which they now turned into a restaurant or bar or whatever it is. Look at that. In 1948, during the Nakba, they were expelled alongside the indigenous Palestinians. They had been scattered all across the world, while some ended up in the West Bank occupied Palestine. Ironically, today, Netanyahu lives in Qisaria. Meeting the Bushnaqs was one of the most interesting moments of my life. It was so beautiful to witness that 140 years later, they were still preserving their Bosnian identity through culture, food, language, despite never having lived in Bosnia before. I actually visited the Bosnian mosque that their ancestors had built in Qisaria, and honestly, seeing it today was just utterly heartbreaking. The Israelis turned the Bushnaq Mosque in Qisaria, Palestine, into Port Cafe. Wow. There's no mention of this ever being a mosque, when obviously it was a mosque. You can obviously tell. Literally on the property of the mosque, they put a penis. Literally. On the property of what used to be the Bushnaq Mosque. They have one place that acknowledges the Bosnian Mosque, right next to Port Cafe.